Yeah, you'll have to give me the path. I'll have to check these out.
Fuck yeah, man.
Fucking A, bro. I'll get you some listeners.
Nice.
None of my fan base because they're all dead.
God damn, depressing.
I know. Wah, wah, wah. So my name is Kameran Ali. People call me Cam. Some people, if they're Hispanic, call me El Mejor. That means the best. That was me touching something. Anyway, I was in a band called the Funky Arabs, and before that I was in a band called Stone Crow, and a long time before that I was in a band called The Bugs That Bite.
I forgot about Stone Crow.
Stone Crow.
Stone Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you threw a stone at a crow, like Afghani women who take off their hijab, they get stoned.
Okay.
And these crows were like Afghani women.
Any recordings of Stone Crow?
There are, yeah. We put out a cassette, and matter of fact, you remember that song by the Funky Arabs called Aunt Jemima?
Yeah.
You know, the last verse of that song was actually taken from a Stone Crow song that was, it's the one about T-Bone rapping about these bunnies. Don't really care because I think they're really funny. It was a Stone Crow song called Cute, and it was basically two guitars and a hand drum, and it was like, I cuddled this bunny. It was like trying to be a screamo song, but it was folky.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the rap part where we talked about T-Bone rapping about these bunnies. Didn't really care because he thought they were cute and all this stuff like that. That, and then on our second Funky Arabs album, Have You Ever Danced with a Monkey, there's a song called Bill, and I believe there's a song called Horn Dog. Those two were Stone Crow songs.
Okay,
and then,
cool.
But we also put out a cassette called Etone Expo, which was Latin for Stone Crow. And actually, no, it was called Stone Crow Etone Expo because we wrote it in Latin, but the album was called The Duct Taped Horse. But anyway, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was mid-90s.
Yeah, it was me, Ben Suki, and Chris Chase. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then we lost Chris, and then that's basically how Funky Arabs was born. Like, at his wake, we were leaving, and me and Ben were walking away pretty heartbroken, and Nolan walks up, and he's like, dude, I love Stone Crow, right?
Yeah.
And so then he's like, we should do something, and we're like, okay. Then we added Eric Hansen, and the funny thing about that was all of us, in one way, shape, or form, had a tie to Chris, right? So it was kind of like he was part of, like, he was the Billy Preston of our band, if you will.
Yeah.
Just from the sky. Right? You remember we did that one tribute show for him at the AmVets in Mandan.
Yeah. That was... Nolan and I were talking about that. We were trying to remember where it was. Mm-hmm. He said AmVets 2.
Or was it the American Legion?
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the only show that was ever there.
Yeah, I don't think there was any other shows there.
Yeah, it was on a corner building. It was in the basement.
I wonder, is that building even still there?
I have no
I'll
idea.
have to check next time I go to Mandan.
I've been to a lot of funerals throughout my life, losing just random friends here and there and family. But going to his at that time, that was crowded.
Yeah, it was a tough
packed.
one. That was a tough one. That one affected me for a long time. Because, you know, like I had a really good upbringing. My family was really good. But it was just the four of us. Like I never had cousins around, grandmas and grandpas. I didn't have that. My aunts were really far away. There are cousins out there that I don't even know exist. You know what I mean? So it was just me, my mom, my dad, and my sister. And we never had a dog or anything like that. So I never dealt with death.
Yeah.
Until he died.
Wow.
So that was like tough for me. And, you know, there were people my parents knew that died, but I just went to the funeral because all of a sudden I'm sitting in a church. But that was the first time that it affected me. And that was the first time I realized we are we're mortals. Like, we're going to die one day. And then I went through this depression thing. It's weird. It's weird how that works, isn't it? Where's the tissues, man?
Yeah. I don't jizz down here, so.
You don't?
They're upstairs.
Well, I'm gonna. So.
If you're just looking for a small car, your choice is very large. But if you're looking for a small car with advanced front-wheel drive engineering, your choice is more limited. And if you're looking for a small car that's also very sporty and maneuverable, you'll find it reassuring to look at this one. Skyhawk, the first car to succeed at being both small and Buick at the same time. Buick, the official car of the 1984 Olympic Games.
Result.
My first car was a 1984 black Buick Skyhawk, and it had a chipped up, like, it was black. All the paint was there, but it looked like somebody, like, shattered glass. That's how the paint looked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the coolest part about it, like, at the time, right? Remember, like, in the early 90s, Big Boomin' Systems was cool, and having an Alpine stereo was cool because Eazy-E
Sure.
said that. I had a Blaupunkt in there. Blaupunkt. And I didn't know what it was. It was a cassette player, and somebody got in the car who was into bass
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And he's like, whoa, you got a Blaupunkt? So then I thought I was badass, you know?
Skyhawk.
I've never heard of this vehicle. It's kind of cool looking, though.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have kept it, restored it, threw some spinners on it.
How'd you get this vehicle?
From my dad. Yeah. Pops bought it for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a family car that got handed down?
No, I got that one. Dad was driving in a Suzu Trooper. I probably would have got a Volkswagen Rabbit.
Okay.
It was a diesel one, but the engine blew up on it, so I didn't get that one. Damn it, though, right?
Right.
Rabbits were cool.
How long did you have this?
Oh, God. I had it up into college, so would I get it in 92, and I probably had it like to 95, because then I got a Sentra, a Nissan Sentra, like in 1980, I think in 84, Nissan Sentra, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
A little 5-speed. And then I took that to college, and I was dating this girl named Lona. And I don't know, you know how like sometimes girls try to brand you, like he's mine?
Oh, yeah.
She took red spray paint. It was a gray silverish car. She took red spray paint and put I Heart Lona on the trunk of the car.
Really?
Yeah. And things didn't work out. So I bought gray spray paint and covered it up. But
So
while
you
we were
just had
together,
this big blotch on there.
yeah, it looked like hell. But it was an 84 Nissan Sentra.
Yeah.
It was a good 10, 12 years old. So, which nowadays, you know, you buy a Volkswagen Tiguan in 10, 12 years, it still looks cool. It's not how it was in the 80s and 90s.
No, they got outdated pretty quick.
Yeah, I miss that.
Skyhawk for 1984. Since its introduction last year, this sharp Buick compact has been steadily carving out a niche for itself in the small car industry. A niche typified by style, quality, performance, features, and above all, high technology.
Result.
You ever seen the Ramones live?
No.
I have.
Really?
Yeah, 1996 Lollapalooza
Okay.
in Denver. The Ramones played. Obviously, not the original.
Wait, when did Joey die?
When was that? Hey, Meta. When did Joey Ramone die? It'll tell me.
Joey Ramone died on April 15th, 2001, at the age of 49.
April 15th, 2001,
Okay.
at the age of 49, after battling lymphoma.
Shit. So, but it wasn't the original.
No, Marky Ramone was the drummer, but Dee Dee was there, Joey was there, and Johnny
Okay.
was there. So
Yeah.
it was everybody but Tommy,
Okay.
you know. And for those of you that like the Ramones, that would all make sense. But yeah, that was cool. It was okay. So let me tell you about that road trip.
Yeah.
So there was 4 of us that went, and my buddy just got a green, one of those seafoam green Geo Metros.
Yeah.
Okay. And at the time, we smoked a lot of pot. We did. Now I don't. I
Sure.
get too freaking paranoid.
Yeah.
You know, I always tell people, you want me to cry myself to sleep and kick you out of my house? Let me hit that joint. You know what I mean? So at the time we smoked a lot of weed. So we all met up at my buddy Jason's house, and he just got this car. So he's like, I'm driving. We're going to get killer gas mileage. This is going to be great. I'm like, all right, fine. So we drive. This is actually a pretty crazy story. So we drive a full way, but we were going to leave. We were going to meet some girls in Belfield at Trapper's Kettle. There was
Oh,
like
yeah.
4 girls that we were going to meet there. And so we all were like, okay, we're going to go to sleep. If we leave here at 4, we'll meet them there at 6. It'll be perfect. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we all went to bed except for 2 of us, me and the guy that was driving. The other 2 guys fell asleep. And we're like antsy, ready to go. And this was before everybody had cell phones. Every clock in the house, we turned ahead 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we turned all the clocks ahead 3 hours, and we woke them up. Like, literally, they slept for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Woke them up, said, come on, guys, we got to go. We got to meet the girls. Not thinking to ourselves, like, hey, we're going to get there, like, 3 hours early, and the girls, we're going to have to wait for them, you know? So we ended up doing that. But it was funny, because halfway there, we're like, dude, we woke you guys up. You know what I mean? And so we get there. We do sit at Trapper's Kettle for a while. But they're not open, right? They're not 24 hours, right? So my buddy Jason jumped into the kettle and took a nap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the rest of us just kind of waited in the car. And the girls showed up. We ate with them. Then we headed off to Denver. So we go to Denver, which is cool. We get there. Side story, not only did we go to Lollapalooza and see Cypress Hill, Hole, Beck, Jesus Lizard, Pavement, Coolio, a Sonic Youth was there. It was cool. It was cool. It was a cool venue. It was at Fiddler's Green, you know, and I remember, like, all my buddies were gone. I was packing a little baddie, I was smoking. And these, like, they had to be junior high girls come over, and they're, like, talking to me, being all flirtatious. And I'm like, I'm going to go to jail. This is horrible. Like, what do you guys, leave me alone, you know? And then finally one of them looks at us and he's like, can we have some of that? And I'm like, so that's a dilemma, right? Like, what do you do in that situation? Like, you want to be cool, but you don't want to go to jail, right? So I'm like, no, this is all I got. I'm sorry, you know? So I was smart there. They could have been undercover for all I know.
Sure.
Cool story about that. When Hole went on,
Yeah.
Be Real from Cypress Hill came walking through the crowd and shook everybody's hand.
Oh, yeah.
Because he and Courtney Love were beefing, right? So that was kind of neat. So I got to shake Be Real's hand. Cool story,
So
you know.
he just wanted to walk around
and
kind
distract
of fuck
people
with
from
them. That is awesome.
Yeah, so you did that. That's pretty punk rock when you think about it. And then the second part to that Cypress Hill story was I was watching Coolio with my one buddy Matt that was with us, and somebody bumped into me, right? And I turn around, and I got this hand on my back and a hand on my shoulder. Oh, sorry. And it was Sen Dog from Cypress Hill. I'm like, oh my God, I just touched all of Cypress Hill. You know? So that was cool. But we enjoyed the show. It was a lot of fun. The next day, we were kind of going to skate shops and stuff like that, record shops, doing whatever. And we went to this mall, just some random mall in Denver. And I noticed, because we were hungry, we were going to go up these stairs to the food court. And I noticed there was all these people, like, hanging out with, like, life preservers and stuff like that, and those little red buoy things that lifeguards wear.
Yeah.
They were all just standing around this, like, balcony at the food court, and we're going up the stairs. So all these people I'm like, what's going on, right? All of a sudden, as we're heading up the stairs, this loud music starts blasting, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's a concert. There's a concert at the mall food court.
Cool.
You'll never guess who it was.
Tiffany.
No, take a stab, because I just told you life jackets.
Oh, Cypress. Wait.
Life jackets, buoys, all that stuff. What concert would be at a mall randomly in Denver, Colorado with life jackets?
I have no idea.
All right,
I'm
so
at a loss.
we're walking up the stairs going to Wendy's.
Uh-huh.
And guess who comes running up behind us with a microphone singing a song and then shook our hands? David Hasselhoff. We were there for a David Hasselhoff concert.
Insane.
Yeah, how great is that?
So fans are just wearing life jackets?
Yeah, they're bringing life so you could sign them, autographs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like those red buoy things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that. It was crazy. I'm like, no way. So we got to see Cypress Hill, Hole, Beck, and David Hasselhoff. I'm like, this is great. So that's a story. I got to shake the Hoff's hand, you know?
Yeah. That's weird. I never would have guessed that.
Right. There's so many stories that I have that, like, I would call bullshit on if I didn't go through them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I've had a pretty weird life.
Yeah,
It's been
those
all right.
concerts too were really affordable.
Yeah, it was like $20, $25.
Ticketmaster has like fucked everything up. To see one band, one of those bands today is, going to be a couple hundred.
That's why I like punk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what was it? Teenage Bottle Rocket and the Queers were here a couple of years ago in Fargo.
Yeah, I didn't go to that.
I went.
Nice.
Me and the wife went.
A friend went. He brought me some patches.
Yeah, I bought, or my wife bought me tickets for my birthday, which she doesn't. She's more of an R&B gal, right? But she liked it. $25.
Yeah.
And then we took the kids to Kansas City to see Morgan Wallen in a stadium. The four of us, it was $1,200.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, right? And then when we get there, a Busch Light Pounder. I hate Morgan Wallen. I'm sorry, Morgan Wallen, if you're listening. I'm not a fan. Not my kind of music, not my kind of crowd. $23 for a pounder of beer.
Whoa.
Yeah, and of course I'm going to drink.
I was going to say like $10, but
no,
yeah.
Of course I'm going to drink. My wife got drunk, you know what I mean? Like, the kids didn't really, I mean, they liked it after a while, but at first they're like, I'm hot. It was their first concert.
Yeah.
And that was a good trip because the only thing that highlighted that is we went to that show, which I grinned and bared it for most of it. I left early. But 2 days later, we went to an outdoor amphitheater and saw Boys to Men.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Boys to Men fan. Hands
gotta
down.
be.
Oh, these guys put on a killer show, dude. A killer show. Like, I was just geeking out the whole time with my wife. Like, she's all singing at the top of her lungs. I'm like, I love Boys to Men. And they're going to be in Fargo here, the Red River Valley something or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
in July. So we're going to go to that again.
Nice.
I'm going to hit the... I'll be like a Grateful Dead fan or a Fish fan. Just Boys to Men.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Just follow them around.
Right. I mean, they don't even talk anymore. They don't even know what they argue about. That's a song by them.
Skyhawk.
So we were talking about your first car. What's your first concert?
This is the most punk rock thing you'll ever hear come out of my mouth. Amy Grant.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When she was still a Christian singer.
Ah.
Yeah, I went with a friend of mine. She was really into church. And
Where was this at?
it was at the Civic Center. I remember she dug her nails into my arm when she saw her backstage coming towards the stage. Oh my God, there she is. And I'm like, ouch. Like, what are you doing? Like,
You get branded a lot, huh?
yeah, it
Yeah.
sucks. Look at it. I mean, everywhere
Yeah.
I go. It's horrible. But yeah, no. I mean, going back to that Lollapalooza trip on the way back, we ended up buying 40s at a gas station. I don't know how we did that because we were literally 18 years old, 19 years old. Got through Belle Fourche, and some girls were there, and they started talking to us. All of a sudden, it was just like something out of a movie. These big rednecks come pulling up in this big truck. That's my girl. Blah,
Oh,
blah,
no.
blah. Oh, my God. They chased us for about 75 miles out of Belle Fourche north.
Yeah.
And so my buddy's back there just drinking his 40s. And he's got like 4 more on the floor. And I'm like, give me those. And we started throwing them at the truck.
Oh,
because
nice.
these guys were going to kill us.
Yeah.
And all we did was talk to their girlfriends who stopped us to talk to us. I'll never understand that.
No, that's weird. That's a movie. That's
Every movie like that
Yeah.
happens. I guess it really happens in real life.
yeah.
Like now when I see that play out in a movie, I'm like, yep, you guys are screwed. Hope you have 40s.
Lots of-
Skyhawk.
All right, let's get to know you a little bit. Where are you from? What's your background?
So I was, okay, it's a good story. I was born in a refugee camp in Iran.
Really?
Yeah. So let's just backstory that a little bit. So
Yeah.
my mom and dad, my culture, my heritage, I'm from the north part of Iraq. So I'm Kurdish, not an Arab.
Yeah.
We're more of an Indo-European, probably more closely related to Italian and Greek or something like that, right? The language is Indo-European. So like, for example, in German, the word for gasoline is benzene. In Kurdish, the word for gasoline is benzine. So it pulls a lot of that European stuff. Marco Polo probably traveled through our area quite frequently. Alexander the Great said the toughest people he ever fought were the Mountain Turks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and that would be us. But so yeah, we're from the north part of Iraq. So my grandpa, my mom's dad, was a general in the army, ambassador to Indonesia, all this stuff. But he's Kurdish, so he had a lot of power. We had a lot of money. My mom didn't have to comb her own hair until she was 18 and married. Like people did that for her. She had a pet deer. Like my grandpa had an aviary in their home, like a bunch of exotic birds.
Jeez.
Yeah. So had Saddam Hussein not been a dick,
Oh, he fucked it all up.
yeah, I'd have probably been living high on the hog.
Yeah.
Had we stayed, I'd have probably been dead.
Yeah.
So basically what happened is my grandpa was assassinated by Saddam's people. That same day we were kicked out of the country and then forced to flee into Iran. We were there as refugees for a little while, where I was born because
How many
my
people?
mom was pregnant. So it was my mom's whole family, like her sister, her brother, our husbands, and I was the only baby. Her other sister had already left. And then my grandma just stayed. She's like, well, where am I going to go? You know what I mean? Like, so she just stayed and died shortly after. But then we were in this refugee camp, and then there was a whole lot of other people because there was a revolution that started between the Kurds and Iraq. So a lot of people came with us. So there was a whole plane load of people that came over with us. So yeah, I was a baby, born in a refugee camp, had a green card with a baby picture on it. You know what I mean? Now I'm a citizen, so fuck you, Trump. So I have that now, and I got that when I was a third grader, which was kind of fun. You know how schools had lyceums?
Lyceums.
You know, like the little where you go to the gym and there's a presentation.
Oh, sure.
So I got my citizenship right around Veterans Day, and my principal. I never got in trouble in elementary school. I was a good kid, probably because I was still learning the language.
Okay.
So it's hard to really talk back.
Yeah.
Today I'd have been a shit. I get called down to the principal's office, scared to shit, right? I'm gonna get my ass beat for I don't know what. Go down there and he's like, hey, I understand some big news is happening for you. I'm like, yeah, what? He's like, you're gonna be a citizen. I'm like, yeah. So he's like, we're doing a whole thing today at the school for you.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm walking up there holding an American flag, like, yes, very good. Welcome to America. And so that was kind of fun. But yeah, I'm Kurdish. Grew up here in the North Dakotas because my parents ended up coming here as refugee resettlement. A lot of other people left and went to California, Nashville, stuff like that. My dad's like, no, we're going to stay. Thanks, Dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yay. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have met the people with hearts as big as mountains
Oh, hell yeah,
here
bro.
in North Dakota, you know? I'd probably met some richer people and probably got some good jobs out of it. But whatever. That's neither here nor there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's me. I was raised a Muslim, didn't eat bacon for most of my life, and now I'm making up for it. So I eat a lot of bacon.
Skyhawk.
How did I get into music? I don't, honestly, I just I was never like my dad wanted me to play basketball and stuff like that. He always put me in soccer, but I sucked at all of that stuff. I'm not a jock. I'm horrible at sports. But I did enjoy music. Like when I was a little kid, I took guitar lessons for a while, and then I started playing traditional Kurdish music, on the guitar, which was I could play the national anthem for you right now. You know what I mean? And this one really cool song. But yeah, so I took guitar lessons and I was really into the arts. I started getting into the arts. I always joined choir. I did swing choir. I like drama. I like all that stuff. I like to act. My whole life's an act. What you see here is bullshit. But I like doing stuff like that. And I think part of it's because I don't like facing reality at all. If I could live in an alternate universe and just direct myself to do stuff, I would love it. But reality sucks. Let's face it.
Yeah,
it's tough,
it
right?
does.
Especially when you grow up and you're not living with mom and dad. You mean the shit doesn't pick itself up? You know what I mean? My hair, it just keeps growing and it's not getting cut. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just falling out. Fuck. But yeah, I've always kind of been into the arts. I was in choir, swing choir, et cetera, and it was about the people I started hanging out with, right? When I told you about Stone Crow, actually when I was in third grade, The Bugs That Bite, that was the band I started with my other friend, Mike. He had a drum set and I had a guitar. And we're like, what would be a real badass thing? What would be badass? And I'm like, fucking Bugs That Bite, dude. Bugs That Bite suck. That's hardcore.
Yeah.
Right? So we had a song called The Bugs That Bite. Whoa, whoa. And, recorded it on one of those little recording. I wish I still had that shit because
A little boombox with a mic on it.
not
or
even.
something.
It was the little square thing that you hit record and play at the same time.
Yeah.
You put a cassette in there. There's somewhere out there. There's a cassette with The Bugs That Bite on there, and we started writing songs. Mike was really into Kiss, and I was into rap. Like, but this was in like the 80s, so I was into like Curtis Blow, you know, and Sugar Hill Gang and stuff like that. So then, yeah, I became like this little rapper kid, right? But I didn't dress like the rapper kids do, right? I was just still myself and with sweater and jeans. But I liked hip hop.
Kept it real.
Yeah, I liked hip hop. And, you know, I mean, like I've seen Sugar Hill Gang live. I did a half hug with Melly Mel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's huge to me. Like, a lot of people wouldn't understand, like, how big that was to me. Like, that's Melly Mel. He was rapping on Beat Street. And he just gave me a half hug and said, God bless. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not even into God, but he just blessed me today. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool. I like Public Enemy, like that kind of stuff. I like the hip hop yippity beat you do doobie doop, and then I like the political shit. I like the gangster shit. I don't like the new shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like Trippie Redd.
Yeah. Not to sound like an old man, but there's some weird stuff out there.
Yeah, I never in a million years I thought I would always be cool with the new music.
Yeah. Right.
And like now I listen to this new rap. I'm like, what in the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, my daughter just flew to Miami. She's 23 today. It's her birthday. She flew to Miami to go to some Live in LA festival where I looked at the lineup and the only one I knew on there was Rick Ross. And so I'm like, go see Rick Ross, please.
Yeah.
I'm like, record some for me. She saw everybody but Rick Ross.
Oh, really?
Right? She saw Lil Skies, Little this.
Little.
The whole lineup was Lil something.
Yeah.
You know? Why? How come none of them call themselves Lil Dick?
There's got to be.
There's Lil Dicky, but he's a white rapper.
But no Lil Dick.
No Lil Dick. Like Lil Penis. Like, you know what I mean?
I would appreciate that.
Right? Like, if you're going to come out and
Lil
sound
Schlong.
like Lil shit, if you're going to sound like shit, be a Lil one.
Yeah, it's there's a lot to it too that's just not good. I don't know if it's the mumble rap, the trap, that beat, that sound with just the hi-hat and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's bizarre. Like, there is no skill to it.
Yeah.
Like, how can you say, like, I'm a good freestyle trap artist? No, you're not. Because you don't have a machine auto-tuning your voice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's why punk just keeps it real.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you get into punk then?
So I got into punk actually later in life. Like, I was into hip-hop for so long. And that's why, like, I did the rapping and stuff with Funky Arabs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right? You know? But then I started getting into punk, right? I started... Because rap started to suck. At the time, I was saying, nope, I only like old school. I don't like this new stuff. I want something that gives me a rhythm and a rhyme. A rhythm and a rhyme. That's all I want. But this new shit, like, I'm not trying to be like Eminem and going, you know, like, I want you to hear what I'm saying, you know? I want you to throw your hands in the air and wave it like you just don't care, right? So, at that point, I started getting sick of, like, I don't even like Wu-Tang. That's too new school for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people call that old school, and I'm like,
yeah.
well, you're a kid, you know? So yeah, at that point, I started getting more into punk because punk had more of the message that I liked. I liked the whole rebellion, like anti-establishment, like, you know, like an anti-flag. Like, that's powerful, you know? It sucks that they're not around anymore. But, I mean, like, even against me, like,
Yeah.
white people for peace, like that kind of stuff. Like, that gets me going. Shit, I even like pop punk, you know? I don't care. Blink 182, I'll listen.
I'll listen to a bit. Yeah.
Maybe not their new stuff. Their older stuff's good, though. You know? But, yeah, I mean... I think the new pop punk band that I like is... or the newest that I've started listening to is... what's the... Neck Deep.
Neck Deep.
You ever listen to them?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
I find myself kind of sticking to a lot of what I listened to in high school and junior high growing up. And then I try to listen to new stuff, and I'll get into that here and there. But I always revert and fall back to...
Me too. Like Misfits, right?
Yeah,
I'll listen to Misfits all day long. And that's the thing, right? It's hard to... Does it make me a snob, or is it just what I like?
Right. When I'm an old man, I think I'm going to have to give my son a box. And it's going to have movies and music and maybe some old magazines or something. So when I kind of lose it and I get confused, put on this CD, put on this movie, and just leave me in the room.
Take me
I'll be
straight
fine.
back, right? Yep. Or just play Institutionalized over and over for me.
Wait, was that the Pepsi one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I wanted was a Pepsi. Just
Yeah.
one Pepsi. Yeah, yesterday we were playing, me and the kids. So I got 2 stepkids. They're young. They're still in school, right? And then I have my daughter who goes to trap concerts in Miami. Like, she flew to Miami to go to this show, man. Where'd she get all this money?
Yeah, to fly, and then how much is the show?
I mean, come on. It was like $300 and some per ticket for a 3-day festival. You know what I mean? I don't know. So, yeah, she's obviously selling drugs. So, but yeah, so she goes to that, and then but these guys, they like their Morgan Wallen and stuff like that, right? Because I don't get to fully influence them.
Yeah.
And that's fine. So, but at home, we were playing some games last night, some board games or whatever, and I played Institutionalized.
Nice.
They didn't like it.
No.
I'm like, but listen to the lyrics, bro. I'm like, just one Pepsi, just one. But it's fun. I mean, they know now. Just don't turn it off when he's playing it, because I'll throw everything around the. You know, I'm like, here we go. You want the couch tipped? Turn it off. Turn it off. I dare you. You want to eat lunch? Yeah. CPS will be calling. How did I get into punk? I don't know. It just kind of evolved. I think Suki gave me a cassette once with some Operation Ivy on it and some No Effects. And the songs that were on there was CAUTION, Caution, a sound system. Please play this song on the radio, and Linoleum. It was like 4 songs on that thing.
Nice.
And I just started listening to it, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I added a little Rancid. Yeah, Rancid's probably the breakthrough. Out Come the Wolves. That was probably the breakthrough, because Ruby Soho was so good, right? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like the haircut. I like the jumping around. Jumping on stage with a guitar gives me a boner every time.
Yes, right.
You know? I mean, it's badass. I don't care what you say. That's why I like seeing Anti-Flag, because those guys got up on stacks and jumped off with like the freaking, you know?
Yeah. I could never do that.
Me neither.
There was one show where I was playing where the stage was a little high, and I jumped off the stage in front and kept it cool, you know, played a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I realized I couldn't get back up. So I just kind of had to stand down there for the rest of the show, like a jackass.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm cool though. It's cool. This is part of the act. Yeah, that was the other thing. V-Dubs. There was another band called V-Dubs.
Yeah.
Me and Suki. That was like a little more punk. That was punk. That one I played more guitar in.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah. That's the one where I was all about jumping. Right? And I probably only did like 1 or 2 jumps, but
Yeah, right.
I was getting older.
But, you know,
my back.
it's a jump.
Yeah.
I had Nolan on a few weeks ago, and he talked about opening for, or Vanilla Ice opening for you guys in a sense.
Yeah. That was more of our fans. You know that?
Yes.
People came to see us.
Yeah, that was surreal. It was weird. Do you remember when you found out you were going to be playing with them?
Yeah, I was at the Broken Oar. And I was drinking a lot of tequila. And all of a sudden, somebody called over to the Broken Oar because Jan Bashis worked there. Somebody called Jan Bashis. I think it was Jason Tomonic called from Discontent. Called Jan Bashis and said, hey, you guys got the Vanilla Ice gig. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, so I get to meet Vanilla Ice. So like, you not only do you get to meet Vanilla Ice, you get to play before Vanilla Ice. And I'm like, I remember I just started running out to the parking lot like, you know, like that was pretty badass. Like Vanilla Ice, the guy was #1 on the charts, you know, like that's huge.
At this point, did you know that he was transitioning to do like a rap metal?
Yeah, because you know, when we were talking to Jason at Discontent about this, he was playing that rap metal album that he just put out, and he's like, yeah, I guess he's coming here and they're looking for an opening act. And I'm like, put our name in the hat, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy. And I remember we got there, so it was at that old Hotel Bismarck, and so I rented a hotel room to make it like a green room for us. Yeah. And I had like a meat and cheese tray and a fruit tray. We had beers and stuff up there. So then, yeah, we came down the elevator. Well, first of all, me and Nathan Kuntz got to go pick him up.
Yes.
For sound check. And while we were doing that, we went to KFC to get him food because he was like hungry. I'm like, hey man, I'm with the Funky Arabs. He was doing an interview with Brady and Stacy at the poolside at the Ramkota. And I go, hey man, I'm with the Funky Arabs. My name's Cam, and I'm here to pick you up for sound check. And he's like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna finish this up, and then we can go. And then is it cool if we go get something to eat? I'm like, fucking A. You know, like whatever you want to do, Mr. Ice.
Yeah. Mr. Ice.
But it was cool because he was being interviewed by Brady and Stacy. I walk in with Nathan, and Brady yells out, Funky Arabs in the house. And he's like, Funky Arabs? And I'm like, what, you didn't know about us? Dick. But yeah, it was pretty cool. We got, so the day of happens, and Johnny from Straight Faced comes down, and he's like, hey, we don't want to play that long, so if you guys want to play extra long, that'd be great. I'm like, yeah, we totally do that. You know, it was like, when I think back to it, it was a cool feeling. Like, we all got together before we got on stage, and we're like, dude, this is fucking huge.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, let's go out there and just kill it. And I feel like we did. I don't think, we didn't fuck up at all, and it was fun.
It was packed. It was hot, sweaty.
Yep, I got hit in the head with a bra. And
I was going to ask if any, I mean, there had to have been panties or something thrown around, but you got hit in the head with a bra.
Head with a bra. It was a size AA, so she didn't have really big tits, but dude, I won. I got hit in the head with a bra.
Right.
Also slipped a couple of hotel room keys at different hotels in the town.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I came out in the crowd.
Back when there were actual keys?
Right. No, it was the actual cards. So
okay.
It was at a different hotel than we were at, but I remember I was out there in the crowd watching VIP, and like I'd be trying to get my through, and girls would be like, I'm like, yeah, I'm super good looking, whatever, calm down, You obviously know who I am. You ever heard of my band? Yeah, but we reached a lot of people with that one. Like, we ended up having people from Regina. Like, we had a whole bunch of people from Regina that were big fans of ours.
Oh, yeah.
After that, and like would reach out and stuff. It was really bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I could see where, like, if we were to like land, like if Vanilla Ice was like, hey, I want you to guys come with us, we'd have probably made it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at some sort of, in some sort of capacity. Like, like they do it behind the music now, right? And Cameron Ali fell off the wagon, man. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was kind of fun. It was cool. Again, my life. Weird shit like that happened. Like, how the hell did that happen? Like, when I was a kid and I was younger and I liked Vanilla Ice, when I wanted a pair of Hammer pants.
Oh, yeah.
And next thing you know, like, the guy that wore Hammer pants was, like, in a car with me going to KFC.
Well, what'd you get?
I just got a soda. He got a fried chicken meal with an extra side of mashed potatoes, extra side of gravy, and a mellow yellow. I remember that. I remember that because I was just fucking this Vanilla Ice, It was cool.
Skyhawk.
I was punched in the face in steel. Yeah, that sucked.
At a show?
It was before we went on. I was sitting at the bar.
Talking to somebody's girlfriend.
No, I was talking to actually Nathan Kuntz.
Yeah.
And some redneck guys came up drunk as hell, and they came up behind me. Didn't know there was a goddamn Ethiopian convention in town.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, and before I started laughing. I go, what? And before I could say the t from the what, I got clocked in the face, knocked out of the bar, knocked onto the floor. The bartender kicked him out.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, fuck this town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
rednecks were the worst in the 90s.
They were.
I don't know why, but man, they were just out for blood.
Yeah, I remember
I've had so many run-ins.
If you were skating.
Yes, exactly.
Like, skaters die, and they'd come chase you. Like,
yeah,
dude, go fuck a horse.
Yeah.
Like, skaters die. And then those were the guys that would see us at the party later and ask for pot.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck you. Anyway, if you guys are listening, fuck you.
You were dicks.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good times. Life was good. And now I'm just coasting.
Yeah.
Paying bills. Peeing a lot more frequently.
Right.
Yeah.
Throughout the night.
Are you doing that too? Like, I'm getting up
yeah.
at night and peeing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a couple times.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, there'll be that time where, like, I wake up early in the morning. I'm like, I didn't pee all night.
Yeah.
I got to go now real bad.
And I'm like, if I don't get there.
Yeah.
Here's the best, right? So for Christmas, I told my wife that, because I don't need anything. I got everything I need, right? I'm happy. I'm content. I'm a pretty low maintenance guy. But I wanted a dish dash. I don't know if you know what that is. But like what Arabs wear, the long dressy thing with the little like thing here. And
yeah, looks comfy as hell.
So I said, that's what I want to sleep in.
Nice.
Right? Problem is, when your bladder is really overactive,
Oh,
right? Because you got to
right.
pull the whole thing up. I'm not used to wearing dresses and peeing,
yeah.
right? So you got to pull that up, and then you got to pull down your boxers. And so I had it held up like this, and I remember I dropped it. Well, I couldn't stop the stream, so I'm peeing all over my dress. And so then I had to change. So that's in the wash right now. Yeah, that was a recent story. Does that qualify as pissing yourself?
Yeah, I think it qualifies as
And
kind
then
of
your
pissing
penis
yourself.
sucks into your body cavity,
Oh, yeah.
and then you pee.
Yeah, yeah. I was at a concert one time when I was going at the urinal, and the band I wanted to hear started playing. And I tried to get out so quick. I wanted to do where I pull my pants out so my wiener would go in, and I would zip at the same time in one move. Yeah, caught myself in the zipper at the bottom shaft, and that was painful for a while. Yeah.